Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's Steve Rosenbaum. Happy to be with you today. I'm excited because today is part 3 of our 4-part series on the first 12 months, how to take a client, onboard them, and set them up for long-term success so that they become our clients indefinitely. Remember, my goal is to make you unfireable. Unfireable. Is that right? Did I say that right? You can't be fired. You're too important to their business. They need to keep you around. Let me adjust my microphone here a sec. All right, let me make sure that we're recording, and we are. All right, let me pull up the presentation, and we'll get started here. Share my screen. Whoops, hang on one second. Let's get the right screen up. That's the screen we want. All right. Okay. Yes, hopefully everybody's seeing my screen now. Okay, excellent. All right, I will not be able to monitor the chats too much while I'm presenting, but I will circle back at the end and try to answer any questions. And also, even if you're watching the replay later on, just tag me, all right? If I see a notification come across with my name, I'll hop in there and happy to answer a question. My name's Steve Rosenbaum, and I am the founder of Flawless Follow-Up, and very proud to be a member of the Extendly coaching team. And Bayant and Fur and everybody at Extendly, they asked me to work with you each week because I've got a passion for helping people sell. I've been doing it my whole life. Since I got out of school, went right into sales, and I was fortunate in that in the time I was in the corporate world. I almost said I was fortunate to be in the corporate world, but that's not the case. That's a different story for another day. But while I was in the corporate world, I was with some big companies that invested a good amount of money in sales training for me. And it's really helped me. Plus, throughout my experience, oh, hey, okay, we have somebody here. Let me go ahead and admit them as well. All right. Hey, welcome. So while, in the corporate world, and I was blessed to have some nice training, some of the nicest programs. And I do believe that sales is a process. And there's lots of different processes. So we won't even go into what's right and what's wrong, but I do believe you need a process. The reason a process is important is because that's how you get predictable results. And that's how you can measure your activities. And measuring those activities is the best way to prepare yourself for success.
Training call if you guys want to watch this.
Hey, I hear you there. Hello, how are you? I'm going to mute you. If you have any questions, put in the chat. I'll try to pull up a chat window so I can pay attention to that as well. All right. If you have any questions, hit it in the chat and we can have a little Q&A at the end as well. All right. So today we're going to talk about part 3 of our 12-month client blueprint. In the last week, I did part 2. The week before that, I did part 1. If you didn't catch them, you can certainly get the replays within the Extendly Facebook group. But today we're going to talk about part 3. So let's start with something that is topical. As I do this training, it's meant to be evergreen. It's meant that you'll be able to use this forever and ever and ever. But I'm going to use a topical subject that's happening right here and right now to illustrate something. Your job is to be the strategist. Your job when a client hires you and comes to you, you want to be the quarterback. You want to take control and you want to run with it. All right. It's also important that you stay up to speed. Now, we've got a very important issue facing us right now because things in our field, they're always changing rapidly, whether it's technology, whether it's legal issues and usage issues and things like that. There are things that we have to stay on top of. Now, I think HighLevel does a phenomenal job of helping us with this. And that's one of the great things that I love about HighLevel. And you're fortunate to be a HighLevel agency. Of course, that's one of our goals too with Extendly and the coaching team is to keep you up to speed on that also. So you need to stay plugged into us and stay plugged into HighLevel and make sure you're on top of that for your clients. So the topical issue of the day has to do with text messaging. And Sean made an announcement just yesterday. He made this video. Make sure you go watch this video about mandatory A2P 10DLC compliance issues that they're coming. They're going to be in effect partially in July, full-time by August. And what it means is this: text messaging has changed forever. It used to be that it was very easy to just go out there and send text messages, but not anymore. Now there are new guidelines, new regulations, and new things we have to be concerned about, or our text will never get delivered. And if you don't navigate those waters for your client will never know. And if your client never knows, then bad things are going to happen. All right. The least of it is they're not going to have success. And that's the death of a client relationship. One of the things that I impressed upon you in the very first 2 sessions of this 4-part series is the importance of showing fast success for the clients. That's what gets us off the ground, gets us on the right track, and establishes the rapport going forward. And so if they struggle out of the gate, that's not going to be good. But it could be worse, right? There could be fines. There could be lawsuits, all sorts of things if we don't advise them the right way. So please, please, please stay on top of things. Stay plugged into HighLevel. Stay plugged into Extendly. Watch the videos that you see from us, the coaching team, and as individuals, so you're always on the right track. Another one I'll say is Kristen Rushman posted an excellent post yesterday. I know it's pinned right now at the top of the Extendly group. Kristen's an expert about email delivery. It's a big issue. All right. Stay on top of these things. And at the end, it's going to increase your value and again, make you unfireable. So you can't be fired. I have trouble saying unfireable. So anyways, I'll explain that every time I say it. So again, this may be topical today, but the evergreen thing to be learned from this is for you to always be on top of the fast changing. It's always going to happen. It's to our advantage, by the way. Change creates opportunity. So it's to our advantage that there are lots of changes here, because our clients, they're busy running businesses, whatever it might be. Maybe they run a restaurant, maybe they run a jewelry store, maybe they run a chain of movie theaters. Who knows what the case is? That's their passion. That's what they want to do every day. They want to cook food. They want to sell jewelry. They want to run movie theaters, whatever the case might be. They don't want to be marketers, okay? And they certainly don't want to stay on top of all the changes in the technology, the regulations, the rules, the laws, and so forth. So this creates a wonderful opportunity for you as well. Hang on one second here. I just want to adjust one thing on my screen, and there we go. All right, and excellent. So with that, one of the things you could use to your advantage when you are trying to get a client on board, let them know things change quickly in this field. Some of the fears that they have are that they will make a big mistake, that they will get sued, that they will lose money, that there will be fines. And you know what? That's going to be one of your strengths. You're going to let them know you're going to be on top of these big changes to help make sure that they never get themselves in trouble. Be very careful. You can't make legal promises. You can't promise them things, that only a licensed professional can promise them, but you can let them know that you will stay on top of the fast changes going on forever. Make sense? All right. It's a big, big, big thing for you. So make sure that that's one of the things that you're stressing when you're speaking with people. All right. Now let's go back. Quick review so we can jump into part 3. Part 1 of our 4-part series was about the first 3 months. It was about how do we show fast success? The best way to earn a long-term client is to show them fast success right out of the gate. And HighLevel has got some things that are going to make this very, very easy for you. So if you didn't watch part 1 yet, make sure you watch that. We'll show you how to create a shock and awe effect. I'll show you how we had success for people in 42 seconds, and you could do the same thing, right? And when you do that, you leave them wanting more. And this creates a perpetual cycle of growth. We've spoken about that in both of the first 2 sessions, and I'll continue to mention it because it's one of the strongest things in your arsenal. It's one of the best tools that you have is your ability to create perpetual growth. It's what we call the growth cycle. Watch sessions 1 and 2, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about. And you always want them leaving for more, wanting more. I don't know if I said that or not, but you always want to leave them wanting for more. That is part of that growth cycle. You show them success, naturally they're going to say to you, hey, great, what else can we do? So in the first 3 months, we do this. And the important thing that we stressed is that we don't start by selling them the whole HighLevel package. It's too much. It's too confusing. It's like drinking from the fire hose. But let's start small. Something where we could start small, quickly implement it, quickly have success. Maybe we get them reviews. Maybe we do a reactivation campaign for some of their contacts. These are some of the things that we discussed. And the whole goal here is to get that conversation manager lighting up. All right. When you get conversations in that conversation manager going, they've never seen anything like that. That's going to blow their mind. That's the expectations you should set is, look, I'm going to get this conversations manager buzzing for you. And when they see that, they're going to tell you, man, I've never seen anything like that. And especially if you can tie in some of the other channels, if you can tie in the Google My Business messaging, all right, and maybe the web chat and maybe the Facebook, if you could tie more of those things in and get that conversations manager buzzing from all those different channels, they're going to immediately see that success, and it's going to create new opportunities for you. So the first 3 months are all about fast success, shock and awe, leave them wanting, begging you for more, because then we can move on to the second 3-month period, months 4 through 6. By this time, that initial success is going to make them want more things. So now it's very easy to step them up into level 2, because now I'm talking about the SaaS configurator, by the way. You see the picture here. This is the basic recommended plans for the SaaS configurator. I think it's a great way to do it. Start with level 1 and sell and get them in at the lowest price point and let them know up front. So they set their expectations. Look, we're going to get you success. You're going to need more aspects of the program, but we're not going to introduce you to those until you're ready and you're already making money. Because then when they see a positive ROI, return on investment, they'll want to invest more. They're going to want to parlay their success. They're going to want to let their success ride. And that's when we take them up to level 2. And in level 2, you can see we're opening up some new features for them. The calendar, the CRM, opportunities, which is the pipeline manager, even some email marketing. We talked about some good workflows to start off with them. Notice we haven't opened up all the workflows for them, but we can design some of them and publish them so that they're functioning. They're just not going to have access to edit them. So by the end of the 6th month, halfway through the first year, by now we've implemented many of these things, right? The conversation manager, we've got that buzzing. Maybe we've sent out some review requests and we've gotten them some positive reviews. They're thrilled about that. We've reactivated some accounts. We've got more sales coming in. They're really, really, really excited about that. We've shown them the missed call text back. The missed call text back is a great way to show off the features of your agency. We could help them with referrals, put together a little tell a friend campaign. Hey, can you help us bring some people in? Remember, we even have an affiliate manager. We could put in the web chat widget, and we could even show them the CRM. And I put opportunities here. I think that's a mistake. No, I did. That's supposed to be 2 bullet points, right? CRM and opportunities should be broken up. That's the pipeline manager. So now we've introduced them to those features. We're halfway through the year. We've shown them fast success. We've parlayed that success into bigger success, and we're ready to grow more. Does that make sense, everybody? Let me check the chat box, see if there's any questions here. Excellent. And let me get a quick sip of water. No, forgot my water. We're not going to have water today. All right. So let's move on now. So we're starting to go into part 3, the 3rd quarter, right? Months 7 through 9. Well, look, there's a whole lot of features still in HighLevel. This is what's so great about the software. And you know what? Every time I log in, they're adding more features and more opportunities. If you have SaaS, and I strongly suggest you do, they are creating more and more revenue opportunities for you. And many of these are profit centers. The emails are a profit center. The text message is a profit center. Now they've got the automations, almost like a Zapier, the webhooks. That's now a profit center. Email validation is now a profit center. Web hosting, WordPress hosting is now a profit center. Many things in the marketplace. These are great ways for you to make a profit. And you'll be surprised at how much money that these things start adding up. And this allows you to even keep your prices low per month. And remember what we always said, we want to get them using the system. Consumption is key. I use that word a lot. You'll hear it in the first 2 sessions. You'll hear it today. Consumption, getting them to consume, to use the system is a key to the success. If they don't use the system, they're not going to have success and they're not going to stick around. Your churn rates will be really, really high. If you want to keep the churn rate down, you work with them, get them familiar with the system, get them self-sufficient on the system, even get them wanting to grow what they're doing, get them excited about the possibilities. That's how you have long-term growth. Now that they've had that growth initially, they're going to be ready for more things, right? Here's what we know. We've shown them what success looks like. We've shown them processes to put in place. So now what can we do? Let's scale that. What does scale mean? What does scale mean? Scale also means leverage, right? Scale means how do we grow, and how do we grow faster without putting in a whole lot more effort? That's scale. Scale is getting a bigger return on the amount of effort we put in, correct? Isn't our system perfect for that? Because with that, one of the things we can do is we can automate. So now that we know what works, now we can automate it. Listen carefully to what I just said. Now that we know what works, we can automate it. So what comes first? What comes first? Making sure we have a process that works, right? One of the biggest mistakes you can make, one of the biggest mistakes that anybody using a system like this can make, is try to put together these fancy automations before you know that your process works. Because what happens if you automate a bad process? Oh, it's not going to be pretty, is it? It isn't. And I see it done all the time. Get your process in place first and then automate it. That's how we achieve scale. Now, once we know we've got that in place, we've got processes at work, we're scaling, we're automating. What do we want to do now? Now, what do we want to do? How about this? What if we add more people? What if we get more traffic, more clients, more prospects, right? This is the correct way to do things. Similarly, I'll throw out something controversial here, all right? I think people go out and they advertise too soon. What's advertising all about? It's about getting more people. But think about what I just said. If you don't have your process in place, if you don't have your automation and your machine in place that's going to help you scale, then why are you advertising? Don't you want to make sure your process works? Don't you want to make sure that you've got your leverage tools in place? That's going to be the fastest way to an ROI. That's going to be the fastest way to keep the biggest return on your ad spend, right? That's how you do it. Make sure you got a process that works, then automate it, then scale it. Now let's go add more people. How do you do that? You could do it with advertising. You could do that with, hey, how about social media, right? We can add the social media planner if we haven't done that yet. Think about all the tools that you have at your disposal that you could use to get in more traffic. Now's the time to do it. Now we are scaling up. Now's the time to expand. Expand what? Maybe add more functionality. Maybe they haven't used the calendar. Maybe they want to do it now. Maybe they want to add a VIP section. This is one of the things that I did for one of my retail clients. Hey, let's have a VIP section, okay, where we'll have special deals just for VIP members. He even charges an annual price to be a VIP member, but people get special offers in the VIP section. Well, guess what? We can do that with the membership area, can't we? Yeah, of course we can. All right, so we can do that. That's where you as a strategist can think things out. How can we expand? How can we make people more profitable? We could add subscriptions. That one of the best things that you could bring on to your client is a subscription. I need to write that down. That needs to be part of the slide. I'm going to do that right now. Let's do that right now. Hang on one second. That needs to be a part of this slide. Let's say subscriptions. Recurring monthly revenue is huge. All right, there we go. Subscriptions. And let me swap this out here. And there we go. And finally, as we talked about, adding more features. And you've got plenty to choose from. Now, here's the thing about this. This is where it gets fun. Because your customer is ecstatic. You're showing them growth each and every month. All right, remember, in the previous two sessions, I've shown you what you should be talking about with them each and every month. And I'll review that at the end of today's session as well. But one of the things you're going to do is you're going to review the accomplishments of the past month. You're also going to set expectations for this month and even the next several months. And then you're going to show them how you've hit those marks. And if you've missed a couple marks, that's okay, because now you could refine and adjust. But what your client is going to really love is that you've got a plan, you've got a strategy. They're not expecting perfection. Who's perfect? None of us are perfect, okay? But what they do know is they know that you're in control. And they know that you know what to do if you find that something didn't go the way you expected. You're not expected to have a crystal ball. Not everything works the same every single time. But the beautiful thing about the way we're teaching you to do things is everything is measurable. Everything is trackable. If something doesn't go right, it's very easy to see the weak part of the process that needs to be adjusted. If we send out 4 emails and 3 emails do great, but 1 email bombs, guess what? We look at that email and say, well, why did that bomb? Was it the subject line? Was it the call to action? You know, did something happen? Maybe we tripped a spam filter or something in that email. So those are the things that we look at. We look at how come something didn't work the way we expected it to work. Let's just go back and fix it. No problem at all. Hey, maybe a link was broken. That happens sometimes. Sometimes maybe we fat fingered and made a typo in the link. Hey, that happens. Mistakes happen. But we'll be able to put our finger on it and adjust it. All right. This is why we do things in real time. So look at all these new features. And believe me, I don't even think this is all of them. What you can do now, working with your client, you're 6 months into the relationship. You're in your 7th month. All right. They're loving you. They're having success. They're singing your praises. They're referring you to friends and just, you know, writing you positive reviews and testimonials. They absolutely love you because you're bringing them success. They want more success. Look at all these options to get more traffic, to get more information, to get more feedback, social planners, surveys, templates, holiday promos, the membership section. We talked about VIP or subscription models, adding new workflows, sales funnels, website builders, blogs, invoicing and text to pay, conversation channels that haven't been added yet. And like I said, there's always more things coming. And you might have other things you like to do. Maybe you like to do SEO. Maybe you like to do video editing. Other things that you want to do, of course, you could add them into the mix. And you could even introduce them to third parties that might have some interesting services that will help them with your grand strategy. Pardon me. So now it's time to map out things. And here's the important thing. Don't do it all at once. Do one at a time. Why? Why do one at a time? The simplest reason is that word I talked about just a minute ago, consumption. We need to get them consuming each and every new feature. We need to get them using it and always show fast success. Anytime we introduce a new feature, always show them fast success. That way they feel good about the investment they made. They want to know what comes next, and it makes it easier for you to add more each and every time. It's also the best way for you because you're not going to overwhelm yourself with work. They're going to be consuming their new features. You're going to train them, get them to be self-sufficient on it, and you're not going to overload yourself. Whereas if you throw a whole bunch of things at them at once, you're going to create a lot of work for yourself. Maybe you got to make training videos. Maybe you got to set up some custom work for them. All right. Maybe that's going to be a whole lot of work. Don't do it all at once. Drip it out a little bit at a time. That also ensures your longevity, doesn't it? Especially if you plan this 3 months in advance. Hey, you know what? Month 7, we're going to introduce the social planner. Hey, month 8, I want to build you some sales funnels. And in month 9, I want to build you that membership area, that VIP area. Let them know that in advance. They're going to look forward to it. And you're going to save yourself a lot of time, a lot of aggravation, and you're going to be a whole lot more successful. This is where you're going to get bigger results for minimal effort. Please, please, please don't try to do too much at one time. This is the way to build a long-term client relationship. Drip it out. This is a big, big elephant we're trying to eat. I'm talking about high level, okay? It's a big elephant. One bite at a time. One bite at a time. That's the way to do it. All right. So, let me move something around here. Let's talk about working with customers. Well, I didn't do a very good job there, okay? Working with customers, I made my picture too big. I just said it on the last slide. Do a little bit at a time. You've heard me say it a few times here. Consumption is the key. Get them using it. Get them having success. And from the very beginning, set proper expectations. Don't promise them, hey, your sales are going to go up by 30%. You don't know that. All right. What you can tell them is going to happen is, hey, if we send out text messages, people are going to respond. All right. I've never sent out text messages to a group of people and not had a response. Now, maybe you send out a text message to one or two people, maybe you don't get a response. But if you're sending out a text message to a group of people, you will get responses. And you could guarantee that. And here's the way you guarantee that. I guarantee you that if we get 50 clients, let's say, and we send out text messages to those 50 clients, I guarantee that you're going to get a response. And if you don't, we'll do it to 50 more clients. Okay. So that's the way you can guarantee it. Guarantee the results, or we'll do it again. It's no problem for you to do it again, right? So it's a simple guarantee, and you can make that, and you can feel good about that. And those are the proper expectations. Do not promise sales. You don't control that unless you're actually making the sale yourself. If you're providing sales services, I guess that's different. I'd still be careful of that, right? But you don't control that. So you could do everything right. You could build the greatest funnels. You could send out the best messages. You can copyright like an A-list copywriter and still not get sales because maybe they don't know how to sell. Maybe they don't even return phone calls. You can't control that. So you want to be very careful there. Help them build their list. I can't stress this enough. And I should say lists, plural. In fact, I'm going to. 1 second. Let's make that adjustment too. Build their lists. What do I mean by lists? Right? Plural lists. What do I mean by that? Well, email and text message. And if they're connected in other places, build that list in other places. And then follow up. My company is called Flawless Follow-Up. That's my brand name. It's my registered trademark. All right. And that's what I do. I help businesses follow up flawlessly because everybody knows the fortune is in the follow-up. And many businesses stink at follow-up. So if you help them build their list and help them follow up, you are going to improve their sales. Oh boy, I just said I can't promise that, didn't I? You're going to have a much better chance of improving their sales. We can promise that you're going to see responses. We can promise that you're going to see people opening emails, clicking on links. You're going to get that intelligence, that information, that feedback that's going to help you advance them through the sales cycle. How about that? That's a better promise. I caught myself. So it's easy to do, isn't it? I told you, nobody's perfect. I caught myself. I made that very mistake, didn't I? All right. This is review. I showed this in both of the first two sessions, and I'll continue showing it. All right. This is your agenda for your monthly meetings. Have monthly meetings. Why do you want to have monthly meetings with your clients? To ensure that they're happy, right? To set the right expectations, to plan for the future, and to maintain control of the relationship. These are opportunities, folks. These are opportunities to increase your sales. I've had clients for 13 years, and the reason I meet with them every month is because of all those things I just laid out for you. And opportunities come. And sometimes they bring me opportunities I never expected. Years ago, before there was a such thing as HighLevel, before it was an easy thing to build a mobile website, all right? So I'm talking about maybe 8-10 years ago, mobile websites were just coming on board. It was just now becoming important to have responsive websites that look good on any device. And apps too. In fact, it was an app. The story I'm about to tell you it was about an app. And my client came to me and said, hey, you know what? I think I want to have an app for my website. He wanted to actually have an app that was listed in the Apple and the Android marketplace. And he asked me if I knew how to do that. I did not know how to do that. So what did I tell him? He said, do you know how to do this? Now, this is where we are the master strategist. We have to know everything, don't we? Because when they come to us with a question, they're expecting us to know an answer. So we have to know everything, right? As I'm nodding my head, yes, the answer is no. All right. All I said to him was, you know what? I don't personally develop apps, but I'm connected to a large community of experts. Let me see what I can find out for you. You know what? You're also connected to a large community of experts. Right here in the Extendly Facebook group alone, we bring you together with lots and lots of experts. So even if you don't have a specialty yourself, what you do have of value to your client is say, you know what? I'm connected to some of the smartest people around the world, literally around the world, that do this stuff for a living. I'll find you somebody. And I think you could say that with confidence, because I think if you come into the Extendly Facebook group and you make a post and say, look, I'm looking for somebody that can do this, this, and this, I'm pretty confident you might find somebody, because that's how strong our group is. You really are connected to a very, very powerful network, all thanks to Extendly. Extendly brings all these talented people together to you right inside that Facebook group. So be active in the community, get yourself known, network, make friends with people that complement what you do, because it's going to give you more opportunity. So I went out and brought them the app developer, and I still remember it was a $15,000 project. That's what I charged them for it. Now, I made a profit on that. I didn't do the work. I just managed it. All right. Somebody else actually did the work. My job was to manage it. Am I entitled to make money on that? Of course I am. But I didn't have to do much more than stay on top of the project, send some emails and make sure people were hitting dates and things like that. That's what it means to be the strategist. That's what it means to be in control. When you have an agency, you've got the ability to do that. When you've got that type of relationship with your clients, they will come to you and ask you for things. And even if you can't do them, just by getting them the resource, you could improve your relationship with your client, make them happy, deliver something, and make money. That's leverage. That's power. That's what being an agency is all about. So here we go, back to the agenda for the monthly meeting. Number one, we have a review, and we compare that review to what happened versus what were the expectations. How do we know what the expectations are? Well, we set them last month, didn't we? All right. That's your job. Make sure you're doing this in such a way. You bring forward, you say, okay, last month we planned on doing this. We ended up doing that. Here are the results. Positive or negative? Positive, let's do more of it. Let's grow it. Let's scale it. Negative, hey, let's refine and adjust. All right. Put a dollar figure on their success. Get them to tell you, hey, you know what? I made $68,000 this month from what you did. Why do you want to tell them that? Because chances are you didn't charge them $68,000. And so they're going to look at what they charge you and say, man, that was a great investment, right? That was a great investment. So get them to put a dollar value on that. If you want to be unfireable, show them the amount of money you're making them. You will make clients millions of dollars. You will. And they probably aren't going to pay you that. So you're going to be able to show them, look, hey, you know what? Look at the money you made. And you don't say it to them like that. You just get them to give you the information, because they'll know. They'll know when they say, hey, you know what? We really did make $68,000 from that little promo you put together. Oh, they know. They know. They're equating it. $68,000, what I paid them. Hey, that was a good investment. How many times will you do that? As many times as you'll let me. Okay? That's going to be what they're thinking in their mind. That's what you want them thinking. All right. Ask them what it's meant for them. Did it mean that they could hire more employees? Did it mean that they could offload some of their work so maybe they could improve their family time? Were they able to take that vacation? Were they able to buy that boat? Were they able to pay for their kids' education? What does it mean for the business, or what does it mean for them personally? Ask them about that. They'll tell you. They'll internalize it. They'll say, I like working with you because all these good things have happened to my business and to my personal life since I started working with you. That's what it means to have a successful client relationship. All right, now what? We can measure things. If we can measure things, what can we do? We can improve them. So work on whatever we've got. Say, okay, look, we did this. We got these results. Let's try to improve those. How can we improve those results? Now we're going to try some things. We're going to set some expectations. And next week, we're going to see if we improved or we didn't improve. Plan out the next 8 to 12 weeks. We always want to work 8 to 12 weeks in the future. Again, that keeps us unfireable. All right. When you become fireable, when your client doesn't know what you're doing. Okay. If your client wonders, pay them all this money, what do they do all day? Now, they don't expect you to punch a clock. They don't expect you to work all day. They're not going to micromanage you. But if they know, hey, you know what? He's working on social planners for next month. And he's working on new workflows for the month after that. And he's working on the membership area and the subscription for the month after that. I'm good, because each time he works on something, he brings it to me and my business grows. All right. So if they know you're working into the future, that's good. If you're talking about milestones and anniversaries, today, as I make this recording, it's May. We just finished Mother's Day. Father's Day is next month. Do you have something already in place for Father's Day? It's time that you should. All right. Then that's then maybe what's after that? Then maybe we've got July 4th, right? And summer break. And then August, we start talking about we're getting close to back to school, getting close to back to school time. So this is how you start planning for things in advance. Sorry about that. Somebody's pulling in my driveway. I don't know who they are. Okay. So this is how we keep planning in advance. This keeps them looking forward. Also makes you unfireable. Holidays, events, all those things. Set those expectations each and every time. Ask them for new reviews, new testimonial videos, new referrals. Even if they gave you one last time, if they've got more success to talk about, ask them to make you a new video. Ask them if they met anybody new that they could introduce you to. A lot of professionals, they network all the time. They're members of BNI, they're members of the Chamber of Commerce, Rotary Club. They've got other people, maybe they're a franchise and they know other franchisees in other areas. You're not locked down geographically. Well, maybe you are, but most people aren't these days. All right. So, I had a client that had a automobile service company. He was a franchise for an automobile service company. He said, you know what? I know people in 4 different areas around the country. I'm going to introduce you to them. And what did he say? Hey, this worked for me. It probably should work for these guys. These are his buddies. So of course they wanted to talk to me. Ask for those testimonials. Ask for those reviews. Ask for those referrals. They're great when they come. They say word of mouth is the best form of advertising. It's great when you get them. Sometimes you have to ask for them. Most times you have to ask for them. Okay. And it's okay. It's okay to do that. Finally, don't forget these things. Always look for other areas that you could help everybody. We spoke about this a moment ago. Invite third-party vendors like that app developer. Invite other people where you see opportunities to form a joint venture type relationship. Create those opportunities. They'll love them. Control the relationship. Be the strategist. And it's that important, so I said it to you again. Always ask for the reviews, the referrals, and the testimonials. All right, there you go, folks. That's part 3. How'd you love it? Let me know. Put something in the chat. What was your favorite part? And if you've been here for all 3 sessions, tell me more. Tell me more about what you're seeing. How are you going to bring this into your business? How is this going to impact your business? Right? By the way, we talk about the success, the importance of onboarding. No better company in the world than Extendly for that. No better company. So use Extendly. That really helped me out. When I started my agency, I myself had a churn problem. I did. All right. Use Extendly. That's a big part of helping you keep the success down. So using Extendly helped me with my churn. The other reason I had a churn problem was I made the very same mistake I'm teaching you about. See, I earned these gray hairs, right? I'm really only 29 years old. No, but I earned these gray hairs. They come from experience. And even though I knew better, I get so excited about all that HighLevel can do that I was making that very mistake. I was giving them too much too soon. I was going for the big check up front. Don't go for the big check up front. This is a much better way. This is a much safer way. And the people that are growing long-lasting, sustaining businesses are doing it this way. Don't go for the big check up front. Don't go for the big work. Don't go for all the the custom work and the website building, all that stuff. I know you can do it, but there's a downside to that. Believe me, there's a big downside to that. This takes little effort, gets fast success, gets them hooked to the point that they want to see more. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. I've enjoyed it. Let me quickly go over here to the Facebook and see if I see any questions I can answer. Let me refresh the screen here. And next week, we'll have the 4th and final part of our 12-month client blueprint. All right. There we go. I'm not seeing much right now, so we'll circle back later. People will watch the replay. I'll answer questions there. Have a great day, everybody. More success to you and to your clients, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. I'm Steve Rosenbaum. See you next time.
Want to learn Go High Level in a structured format? Check out the gohighlevel.com by Extendly. We guarantee to save you 6 months of wasted subscription costs for HighLevel. Just visit the gohighlevel.com.